Hello, I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com. I'm joined by my two best friends, Kenny McIntosh and Adam Pacitti, and we are here to run down the WWE UK Championship Tournament taking place this weekend in Blackpool. Kenny agrees, and you both look like scrubs. So, we're here doing a round table. Of course, we have the square table. Let's talk about the tournament. Who's going to win? Who's been scrubbed from it? Who are our favourites? The WCPW thing, and all of that joyful stuff. So,
great.
Let's start by, who do we think is going to win the bloody thing?
I believe Kenny and I have the same, and even possibly you.
No, I think I have someone different.
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne?
Absolutely.
Pete Dunne.
I think Trent Seven.
Okay, why?
Because I think WWE have something close to a working relationship with Progress.
Well, they have more than that.
Yeah. They have more more than we do anyway. With WWE, I mean, let's be honest.
So just to clarify, so say there's a scale of 1 to 10, because I need to know this for how this is going to go.
Yeah.
If 1 is like Invasion of the Body Slammers on VHS with Lord Alfred Hayes going to speak to the Bushwhackers on location, level of kayfabe.
Okay, right.
And then number 10 is like CM Punk with Colt Cabana on a podcast. Where are we?
There is no kayfabe here.
Okay, so we can just be completely.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be. I think they're not going to give the Progress champion a belt which he might be contractually obliged to value more than the Progress Championship.
He is tag champ.
It's not the same as
No, I understand
the
that.
heavyweight championship, though.
I'll be honest, I don't think they care about who's Progress champion or who's ICW champion or whatever.
Possibly not, but like if they want to foster good relationships with Progress, which maybe they do, they might not give the double champion.
There is a relationship there, and I don't think that WWE have to worry about fostering a relationship. I think Progress and other companies who are working with WWE are very happy to be involved with them, and the onus is really on them to keep those working relationships together rather than WWE having to, because WWE are the ones that have come over, they're doing this big thing, they've chosen to work with these companies, and I think they would kind of bend over backwards to appease them if they could.
I think as far as the storyline in Progress currently goes, Pete Dunne is the sensible choice because he is the champion. He's already said that this belt is good for one thing, and that's signing my contract.
I would say, it does fit into that story, but I would say I think it's going to be Trent Seven.
Okay.
They both have big belts. They're both the tag champs. I don't know. I like the symmetry of that. Also, Trent can value that as his most prized asset, whereas there is a kind of push and pull with Pete Dunne, which may be, as you say, factoring into the story.
Trent is 35 years old. He's on the beginning of the sort of latter half of his career. Pete Dunne's 23. Pete Dunne's starting his career, really. He's done all the stuff to get to the point where he's about to really start making waves and making progress. It's because...
God, is that why you hate me? I suddenly had a blinding
Yeah.
flash of rage.
That's what you did to me.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Pete Dunne. But I think the final, I would be amazed if the final wasn't Pete Dunne, Trent Seven.
No, it's going to be that, isn't it?
They are the two guys who have been given the most interview time, featured the most heavily on every special that they've done. It's got to be
Because here's the difference between this and the Cruiserweight Classic, was that the Cruiserweight Classic, they featured a lot of guys who didn't win, but that's because those guys didn't sign a contract with them. All these guys are pretty much, for the most part, under a contract. So I can't see those issues that came up during the Cruiserweight Classic coming up during this. So I feel like it's a little bit easier to maybe suss out who we think is going to be in the top two.
Is there anyone else who could be in the final?
This is what I'm saying. There are wild cards here. Absolutely. Tyler Bate is a possibility. 19 years old.
They can really kind of get their hooks into him.
But I think there's enough story there anyway. And looking at the brackets... Tyler Bate and Trent both on the same side. They're surely going to do Tyler versus Trent. It's such a nice story. I know they've kind of done it with the Cruiserweight Classic, but it was successful, and I think
it's very successful. DIY's match in the Cruiserweight Classic was one of the best of the year.
Yep.
To me, the other possibilities,
maybe
the wild
Wolfgang.
Cards, yeah, Wolfgang is one.
Because he's the ICW champ.
Joseph Connors is a possibility as well.
Because he's the best champion for the best promotion in the UK, right? We're just shooting from the... Okay.
I mean, if you're going back to kayfabe land, why not? Here's the thing. Let's address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that 4 of the guys in this tournament were a part of WCPW. They are not a part of WCPW anymore. That is Joseph Connors, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven. Here's the thing that frustrates me. we are all very, very happy for them. They've got this opportunity. So any sort of like thing that fans are putting out there to try and defend WCPW or WhatCulture and trying to make it a sort of us versus them, or we're not happy for them, it's bollocks. So don't do it. Everybody's happy for them.
We don't want people going to anyone in WWE and like fighting a crusade for us, especially not in the aggressive manner that some people have been doing it. We do appreciate that kind of brand loyalty, but we're not looking to start any fights.
No, and it should be absolutely clear as well that a lot of these people, like you see the comments on stuff, and it's like, oh, WCPW guy, you know, Tyler Bate especially, Trent Seven, Connors, all of these guys have made their names in other promotions.
Connors has been going for a decade.
Yeah, of course.
You know, here's the thing though, like when Damo went to WWE, people were going, oh, that's the first WCPW guy to go to WWE. Now, I don't get it. I love that people are passionate about WCPW. It makes the 16-hour days worth it. It really does. But come on. I mean, he was there for 6 months and he'd wrestled for 10 years before that. We don't. But here's the thing. They're not going to say this on camera, but I'll say it. I don't care. The good thing about these 4 guys being the guys that went to WWE rather than some of the other people in the WCPW roster at this point was, luckily, Pete Dunne and Mustache Mountain, who they were here, weren't really heavily featured in the middle of top programs. That them having to leave was going to really affect a lot of stories, which is why I was probably less bothered than maybe some other people were that they had to go.
We want to put forward our brand as much as possible, and we genuinely want WCPW to be regarded as a place where great talent want to work. But we can't, which is the case. But we can't kid ourselves. We are an independent promotion, and ultimately, the independent scene is there right now with the current industry hierarchy as it is. They are there to groom guys for WWE, or you know, if they are so inclined, maybe places like New Japan or Ring of Honor. Instead, it's a source of. You're right, Poppet. You're right, Flower.
I'm great.
Good
I
stuff.
am great.
But like for me, I take a sense of great pride in watching guys who have done great work for us go on to fulfill their career ambition. And like you say, we've been going for 6 months. We don't really have strong emotional claims in these guys, and we love that you love them in WCPW. But please, let's not turn this into a battle. I mean, we can talk about the Regal thing.
Yep.
Because it's something that people are going to be wondering about. There was a question asked at the WWE press conference.
We were at the press conference. Pacitti asked the question. I don't think that William Regal knew who Pacitti was. Now, I know to some of you that is baffling because most of what you watch on the internet is Pacitti, right? But I genuinely don't think he knew who it was.
No, he didn't.
Now, what he said about zero restrictions was true in the sense that if wrestlers want to work anywhere in the UK, they are free to do so. There are zero restrictions in that sense. However, it would be stupid of WWE to allow other wrestlers to go on iPay-per-view or to go on that sort of thing for other companies that they don't have proper agreements with. Therefore,
where they don't have any say over the content, what those wrestlers might be doing.
Exactly. So that's the distinction there. And I think that the problem is that the phrase zero restrictions was thrown around with no context to the conversation or context to what Regal knew or how you asked it or what the response was.
Absolutely.
In the immediate fallout, we were disappointed too, but we've come to realize that it should not be something that an aggressive battle is fought over.
No.
That's not the point, and that's not what makes the UK scene better. It's not a place to have such a kind of hostile territorial boundaries.
It doesn't help us. It doesn't help the wrestlers that you're arguing over. So I do think we should clarify that we are free to use these talents, but as you say, not on anything taped for YouTube and not on iPay-per-view. So for us, that's an issue because it's all narrative based. We're all about storylines, and if we can't show these guys off, then there is little point in us using
these
them,
guys,
which is a great shame.
They've invested a lot of money in these guys, and right now they have working relationships based on years of trust with places like Progress, RevPro, and other places, and especially places that don't record for pay-per-view.
Here's an example. If Adam Pacitti works here and he goes down to London and does a 2K interview with the New Day, he can't really at the same time work for a national newspaper and go to 2K and do an interview for them and not give it to WhatCulture because WhatCulture pay his wages. So when the person that pays the predominant amount of your wages pretty much does get to dictate the majority of what you do or how you do it,
And that's what it should be,
and you
absolutely.
enter into it knowing that's the case. So nobody's been like forced to sign anything.
No.
As far as we're aware, and I'm sure it's the case, WWE and William Regal are cool with us. We're cool with them. There's this like idea that there's a big battle going on, which is ridiculous. Like WCPW is doing great shows.
I get it. Like
Getting bigger
we
and
fostered
better.
like part
You
of our
fostered.
part of our. I
me into
didn't
it.
realize we had a WCPW in the horizon when we started doing how I'd do it better. Part of our whole internal kayfabe at What Culture is we have a slight antagonistic thing going with WWE. That's just for us. It's fun. It's confrontational. We know that they are 10 million times bigger than us, and that's fine. Like it's been a slow burn thing, and right now it's coming to the point where it does enter into kind of people assume that it's more real than it is, that we hate WWE, they hate us. In a lot of ways, it's simply just we're just trying to coexist, and we just really don't want it to get uglier than it has to be, and it doesn't have to get ugly at all. So what now? Should we get into the tournament itself?
Why don't we maybe go through the brackets and just see who we think is going to win each round to get to the inevitable that we think might be the finale.
Sure.
So Tyler beating Tucker's up first. Tucker.
Oh, Tucker! Tell me about Tucker, like Northern Irish wrestler.
Yeah.
We were big fans of his. We've seen a lot of his matches. Pachiti's more of an expert on him
I would say
than
so.
I am.
I haven't seen that many of his matches.
I just heard you mentioning him the other day. I assume.
Yeah, no, he's very good, but I think with the amount of exposure that they've given Tyler Bate, it's Tyler going through, and the obvious semi-final is Trent Tyler.
I mean, I think that's a match that the UK scene wants to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's actually one that is quite hard to predict. Jordan Devlin, again another Irish talent. So Pachiti, again.
Why do you think I'm obsessed with Irish talent?
You're just obsessed with
I
Irish
just
wrestling.
like Martina Session more.
Jordan Devlin, who is a hot up-and-coming Irish talent, versus Danny Burch, who I guess you could see as like the WWE's guy.
Well,
in the tournament.
Jordan Devlin is the protege of Finn Balor. Let's not forget that. Jordan Devlin is in the tournament preview. He is friends with Finn Balor. He's been trained by Finn Balor. Going up against Danny Burch, who was in NXT.
AKA Martin Stone.
AKA Martin Stone. Danny Burch is a little bit older. I think Jordan Devlin's the up-and-comer. This tournament feels to me more about up-and-coming talents. I think Jordan Devlin's going to take it.
Sure.
I mean, they're already telling the story about Finn training him.
Yeah.
If they give narrative at this stage, surely he's going through, especially with Finn on commentary.
Now, Trent Seven, we do think he's going to go far, but HC Dyer, you were talking about him earlier. Can you just fill us in a little bit on HC Dyer?
No, I don't know a great deal about HC's Eye, to be honest. He's not one that I was familiar with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was talking about BT Gunn earlier.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
Trent Seven is fantastic, as you say, 35 years
He's
old.
been featured in so much of the like
I mean,
he
he
stood next to Triple H. So
they were
One of the
there.
best
He's going through.
mustaches.
Yeah, too right.
yeah, the whole general beard combo.
Wolfgang, the ICW champion, going up against Tyson T-Bone. I feel like, T-Bone is pretty good. I've seen some of his stuff, and he's a pretty hard-hitting guy. I think a match with Wolfgang is going to be quite fun to watch.
He's sort of the tattooist of the UK indie scene, isn't he?
He's the tattooist, yeah. Tattoos people in the ring.
Great.
It's Wolfgang going through.
It is
Yeah.
Wolfgang. It's the
So we think it's-
ICW Championship. They've got a relationship.
Okay, Mark Andrews and Dan Maloney.
Mark Andrews, a late addition to the tournament.
I
He
think
is
a
fantastic.
needed addition, I think.
Yeah.
They needed another name, another wee boost, I think, and it was a good one to pick.
We lost 4 names, of which Tiger Ali was...
Indeed,
No Tiger Ali
No.
signing of WWF fame.
they're still like they're being kept as substitutes just in case of injury. But they were replaced at the last.
But I don't know, Mark Andrews is so good in the ring. So good.
I'd bet £100 he goes through.
He does
There's
have.
just no way that
Oh,
he's
yeah.
I mean,
going
he does have TNA right there in his Twitter handle. though.
Mandrews, TNA.
Yeah. James Drake versus your boy, Joseph Connors. Gotta be Connors. Whoa! What?
I don't know. I love Joseph Connors. I think he's great. But James Drake was featured more than Connors in the tournament preview. That's the only thing. See, before that, I would have said Connors was going through. But I saw James Drake being featured. I don't know if that was just to give him a little bit of a rub before Connors beats him. I would prefer to see Mark Andrews versus Joe Connors.
Oh, yeah.
So I will, for loyalty and what I think is my original prediction, I'll go with Joseph
You know what? I
Connors.
really hope that they present Joe Connors properly. In that he is the righteous killer and he is unhinged.
They won't call
and he's a
him Righteous
maniac.
Killer.
And I'm sure they won't give him the nickname, but I want that intensity to come across. I hope they don't just. I hope they let them use their characters. Is what
The
I'm
thing with
saying,
Joseph Connors is
which is difficult to do.
Joseph Connors is not someone, and I think he would even say this, he's not someone that you just kind of go, here's Joseph Connors, and you get the character straight away. You kind of need a little bit of story with him. So I hope that they maybe show a video package about him.
I wonder what they're going to
give
call
us
his finishing move. Cause
They call it. They've already put it on the website. They call it something DDT, but it's not called the Righteous Kill for obvious reasons.
Indeed, the calf crusher. Pete Dunne versus Roy Johnson.
I don't know who Roy Johnson is. Pete
Dunne.
Pete Dunne all the way.
Dunne
All day, every day.
And then Saxon Huxley and Sam Gradwell. I don't really
I'm not familiar with
either of these guys.
I think Saxon Huxley's going to take this one.
Cool. It's in your waters. So we've got Tyler Bate versus Jordan Devlin.
As I say, it's Tyler for me because I think they're going to do Tyler Trent.
Yep, and then what's interesting is if Trent Seven and Wolfgang do face off, they did face off at the Hydro at ICW's Fear and Loathing for the championship, and they're facing off again at ICW's Square Go next month. So, I think Trent Seven goes through, and I think we get Tyler and Trent in the semi-final. Mark Andrews and Joseph Connors. Who is going through to the semi-final? Take away loyalty and all that sort of stuff. Who do we think?
It's Mark Andrews.
I think if they want the most kind of exposure, maybe overseas, probably Mark Andrews, just because of he's tenured with TNA.
Yeah, I think
I think it's easier to sell the tournament second day.
Which is a shame. They're both phenomenal.
I think Connors should be a guy who, if he does get put out to Mark Andrews, that Connors is maybe in a non-tournamented match in the second day to just kind of show some stuff that he can do.
Indeed, yeah.
Pete Dunne and Saxon Huxley.
Done.
Tyler Bate and Trent Seven in the semi-final.
That'll be Trent, I think.
It will be Trent, I believe.
Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews, which I think could be
match
of the tournament.
Last match. It will be Pete.
Yeah.
So Pete and Trent.
I'm hoping, with my heart for an all WCPW semi-final.
You'll be there front row with a side.
WCPW originals.
You're going to go back in the fan page and type that again 12 times on the releases?
Yes, I am. I think, it's going to be Trent versus Pete Dunne. I think it's going to be really great as well.
It's going to be great wrestling across the board. From what I've seen of the guys that I have seen, and it's most of them, they're all very, very good in the ring.
I think the first night is going to need a little bit of smoke and mirrors because it's more... The first night, for the most part, is more about the guy who's probably going to go through against a good worker who's not quite at the name value of the other guy.
Sure.
And 8 of those is difficult to pull off in one night. So as long as they've got some character stuff, some interesting things going on.
This is it. I think you raise a really good point, and that production is very, very important in this because I want to know who each of these guys is before the match. Yeah. And the way to do that is
I hope they're doing that with like the CWC style, these guys talking candidly to camera. I hope as well they put in maybe just one slight swerve.
You know who the commentary team is, right?
Nigel McGuinness.
Michael Cole. Nigel McGuinness and Finn Balor.
Yeah. So that will be airing on the 14th and 15th this weekend, 8 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Nope, 3 p.m. Eastern
time.
Damn
it! Noon Pacific.
12 p.m. Pacific. This is the guy that you fly to other cities. Hannah, you drove like 21 hours to Dallas to see him, and he can't even remember your time zone. I remember your time zone.
You deserve more Twitter followers.
Why do you have so few?
He's so good. He's so good.
Don't patronise me.
I'm not patronising you. What do you mean you know what I'm doing?
Listen,
bigging you up.
I like Twitter. I just, unlike Jack, don't live my life by it.
Now we are shooting. Where's the kayfabe gone?
At Adam
you told me not to do any.
At Adam Pacitti and at Kenny McIntosh.
No.
At K McIntosh.
No.
At Kenny MC 1985. Because you were born
in 1995.
Kenny
Mania
that one
32.
Wasn't
available. He doesn't know your time zones because he doesn't love you.
I can't bloody wait for this. It's going to be brilliant.
It's going to be really good.
Let's watch it together.
It's going to be very good. First night, have a few pals over and it can be on more in the background because you know kind of who's going through in the most part. But it'll be fun to watch.
Don't watch it. First night.
No, but
doesn't matter.
It's a night of predictable matches.
The second night is really the night,
Yeah, anything can happen in the WWE.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
If you're a fan of the videos that What Culture puts out on its YouTube channels, why not join WhatCulture Extra, our subscription service for paying members? For paying just a small fee every month, you get access to exclusive lists, pipe bombs, booking videos, wrestling's worst merch, live streams for Raw and SmackDown every single week, exclusive WTF videos looking back at classic pay-per-views. Also, there's exclusive interviews, documentaries, Q&As, short films, and if you're a fan of WCPW, every episode of Loaded will be uploaded one day early and you'll be able to view the episode in its entirety. And included in the price are all of our pay-per-views such as Refuse to Lose and the upcoming Delete WCPW. All that for just $6.99 a month, or just over a $5 for UK fans, and you can cancel at any time. For more information and to sign up, go to whatculture.com/extra.